Mario 64 Land. Let's talk about this game for this morning. Why not just talk about a video game? Alright, so I'm going to share the stream. Boy, I'm going to share it. And I'll be right back. Throughout the morning, nice and calm. I love how when Super Mario 64 Land starts, you know, they have their own story. Like, I guard the Grand Star. Bowser stole the Grand Tsar, and you can see how different the whole story is. Another thing I love about this ROM hack, you know, obviously, is the tutorial course. I kind of love that shit. And Peach isn't kidnapped. That's another thing I really like. Um, I also like how there's unique worlds and movesets unique to Mario in this game. So that's also really cool. But anyways. So, what do I like and dislike about this ROM hack? I'm going to make this one nice and clean. Get it nice and clean. Almost said simple and clean, you know, to reference Kingdom Hearts. But, I wanted to make this review, like, kind of small, niche, and sort of get what I like and what I dislike just kind of out of the way. Right? So, like I mentioned before, I really do love this game's, like, presentation in comparison to a lot of Mario ROM hacks that I like to play. And keep this in mind. For some reason, like, I can play, like, a Sonic ROM hack or a fan game and not mind it too much, but when it comes to Mario, I sort of kind of mind it a lot. So, seeing that, and by the way, I had, like, a little throat tamer there. Kind of helped my throat relax as I was recording a lot last night / yesterday. I like how in this game, in Super Mario 64 Land, the presentation when you get into the game, it makes you feel like you're going on a brand new adventure, which I feel like a lot of Super Mario 64 ROM hacks, or not just Super Mario 64, but a lot of Mario ROM hacks kind of fail to do. Because to me, I feel like the way you present your fan creation, your fan game, ROM hack, or whatever, I feel like it's important whenever you put that game out there. Sonic Bros, how you doing? And Punk Productions, how you doing? Welcome to my stream. My bad for not saying nothing earlier. I feel like it's important to show your player how new your game is in comparison to the original experience. You know what I mean? Like, if you're creating a ROM hack of something and you want it to be unique, you want people to see it for what it is, not just a Super Mario 64 ROM hack. You want to see all that other sort of stuff, right? As someone who recently 100% Super Mario 64, I haven't really played any Super Mario 64 ROM hack, so I am excited to see your opinion on one. Yeah, I've talked about many ROM hacks, but anyway, so again, I think presentation is important because a lot of Super Mario 64 ROM hacks that I have played in the previously or recently or whatever haven't really made me feel like I was diving into like a completely unique / original like adventure all that much. Like they do show it in the beginning that okay, this ROM hack is completely different, like you're doing completely different things, or you know, they're completely different maps and stuff, not from the original game or anything, but it's like I don't know, to me that's all they're doing is original new maps, new like created maps and all that shit, and that's all they're doing. They're not really going the extra step and going beyond just maps and just giving Super Mario 64 like this sort of new unique flavor to it, or just I don't know, style to it. It's hard to describe. In my opinion, it's hard to describe. That's why like when I saw Super Mario 64 Land, I actually was very impressed with its presentation, like them giving us a whole opening cutscene, you know, and then we get into the worlds, and the whole world map is unique to this game. I mean, it gives you that new Super Mario plus 3D world vibe. I can show y'all a little bit. Let me show y'all a little bit, like, what I'm talking about in terms of, like, how the game actually vibes and shit. It's actually really, really cool. This is an ad. Yeah, let me show you a little bit. Like, after we get into the parkour stuff. Damn it, I keep freaking doing that. Like, as you can see with World 1 and stuff, after you're done with the parkour course, this is something I really thought was cool. But you get like a whole new hub world and shit with all these levels and different locations you can go to. When I saw this, I remembered that, oh shit, I'm getting into a dope ass ROM hack over here with its own unique flavor, its own unique set of levels. Like it isn't just Mario going through paintings and then, goes to the level where it feels like I've already done that a billion times. It's Mario dropping into a brand new world entirely to try to get the Black Star from Bowser. That's why I'm like, this is what a Super Mario ROM hack should aspire to. Everything in the game is completely brand new, from its story to levels, and make the whole thing come together. And that's something I really love about this ROM hack a lot. And also, like, the music is from other Mario games, of course. The level design is completely different with its own set of missions within those levels, just like how original Super Mario 64 would do things. And I felt like that is all well and dandy. I even enjoyed the first stage all that much, like 1-1, Let me show you 1-1 real quick a little bit. Yeah, as you guys can see, it's based off of like Super Mario 3D World and stuff a little bit. Oh, its own type of way and its own type of style. I love that. You get the raccoon suit, which also feels really nice to use in this game. But one power-up I'm probably going to complain about because I didn't really get to finish this one. Who knows, maybe I'll make a re-experience on this game one day when I feel like I want to play like way more of this and stuff. But I remember seeing all this and I was like loving the game. I was loving my experience. But when I got to like I think it was World 2 with Cat Mario, I think this is where I started having problems with the game, because like these bouncy spring things, depending on what position they're in, are so fucking badly placed and badly used and kind of hard to control Mario in. And even using the Cat Mario power up sometimes is also confusing, because I remember I was getting so pissed at trying to use Mario in these stages sometimes and just struggling with him. I remember like this stage exactly where I was struggling with certain jumps and certain camera angles. And I remember this was my issue with Super Mario 64 Land. Is, don't get me wrong, the ambition is really good, the presentation's really good, the levels are really good. You can tell that he put a lot of time and effort into the levels, whoever created this. It's just that some things in the levels I feel like are either too much, or some things I feel like personally, I don't know, that kind of rip the experience right out. Like, for example, like sometimes the camera going way too far back, like precise jumps don't feel like I'm making them enough, and all this other sort of stuff. And the reason why I'm so calm and collective in this video is because I'm trying to change my outlook on myself, so trying not to be so angry and try to like vividly remember something like that's so negative or whatever, you know what I mean? Because usually whenever I make one of these, it's burrowing in my mind like what I'm remembering and all that other sort of stuff, right? So that's why I say my experience with this game is kind of annoying, because I love it a lot, but like I think that where the game also gets kind of gimmicky and finicky a little bit is kind of like the boss fights in certain areas. Like World 2's boss is kind of finicky, kind of in other places. And again, like using the Cat Mario power up to try to dive or try to jump on the trampolines, not only to not bounce on the mushy trampolines, but kind of fumble the bag. And it's a whole thing for me. Because I really, again, I really do enjoy this game. But like due to my like some of my issues with it, like for example, like I mentioned earlier, like how using Cat Mario can kind of be annoying. Understanding how those mushroom trampolines can be annoying work. The camera being a massive pain in the dick, not just in Super Mario 64, but also in this ROM hack. The camera, you would think the camera would be better, but nah, it's not that much better. And honestly, it's kind of making me feel a little bad that I even experienced this game for like long periods of time sometimes, because like trying to deal with that camera in some angles is really bad, especially when the camera gets so far from you and you're sitting there boing boing boing, you're trying to balance and all that other sort of stuff. And I just can't see myself. And honestly, I don't like it when I can't see myself in terms of video games sometimes. And honestly, this game at points gets really tough. And as you guys know, I personally prefer easier experiences because I feel like easier experiences, easier games make the experience for me all the more fun because, as you guys know, I stress out really easily, uh, or I stress out and I get angry like very easily with whatever I'm dealing with. So, an experience that ends up being like a lot easier and stuff, and just for me to go through is very nice in comparison to something that's extremely hard and annoying and not worth my time. And that's honestly how I feel about this hack. I won't lie. It's really good. I highly recommend this one, but if you can deal with the camera being an issue at times and maybe some of the level design being a little bit of a stretch for a little bit of the average Mario player. I'm not saying I'm an average Mario player. I've done a lot of stuff for Mario, but I'm just saying like a little bit of a stretch. Even for players that haven't played like Super Mario 64 in a long time, I highly recommend this hack. I highly recommend you give this one a shot. I can't remember if this Super Mario 64 ROM hack works on original cartridges or not, but I think this was one of the ones that worked on original cartridges. I could be wrong. Maybe do more research into that before you try to put it on your N64 cartridge, or maybe try to go look for it or something like that, or whatever. But yeah, that's my opinion. And plus, it's kind of hard. Again, I want to remind everybody, it's kind of hard to really sell me on like Mario ROM hacks because you guys know how I feel about Mario ROM hacks. I feel they're not all that interesting or fun for me instead of like the actual Mario experience, you know what I mean? So that's why Mario ROM hacks, no matter what is 3D or 2D, it's kind of hard to like impress me or overall make me be like, whoa, crazy. I don't know. For some reason, I just sort of feel like that when it comes to Mario ROM hacks. But anyways, like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share the video with your friends. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Again, I'm making it short. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. God bless you all. Hope you guys all have a great day. Peace out, man. I don't know if I'll be streaming again. Maybe I will on like another my experience just to kind of sort of get it out of the way. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't know. But I probably should because I have a lot of my experience in the back that need to be made.